All right, Steve A. and then Ed.
Governor, the lack of affordable housing in Rhode Island means that even people with housing vouchers are having trouble finding places to rent. Out of the 89 vouchers issued this year, so far, only 35 people have been able to use them. And that's out of 225 people who have applied, 1,500 people currently unhoused, ahead of the eviction moratorium at the end of the month being lifted. On Tuesday, Senator Reid suggested that the Federal CARES Act and Rescue Plan dollars be used to deal with the housing crisis, prioritizing low-income housing. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree, and we are working with the General Assembly about using some of the CARES Act dollars. I happen to be feeling as though we should do it sooner rather than later. I'm not sure when the General Assembly is going to pick it up with us, but I would expect sometime this summer or the fall. I would also take the moment to express that we have a significant amount of dollars for rental assistance, and on June 30th there'll be an announcement on mortgage assistance. $200 million on rental assistance right now, $50 million on mortgage assistance as of June 30th, and we need to up our game on that because we've only provided about $1 million worth of rental relief as we sit after close to what it was announced on March 31st. So we're sitting on 2.5 months with $1 million out, and we got 199 more million go on rental assistance before the end of the year. So that pace has got to pick up. We're taking a specific interest in that in our office, meeting with Rhode Island Housing. Certainly going to be calling on the board at Rhode Island Housing to have them share the plan. So I think that's the short-term issue. There's rent relief and mortgage relief. I agree with Senator Reid, and in our early outline in terms of the buckets of funds that we would appropriate out of the APRAs, housing is in those buckets. So you would expect once we get out that, once we be able to get the General Assembly they're doing their business right now on the budget and those type of things. Once we're out of that, we expect to open up that to a public conversation.
Do you expect the money to be equal to the size of the problem? I mean, right now as it exists and as it may increase?
Well, the problem is large, right? So I don't know whether there's enough money in the APRAs if you spent every dollar on it to actually satisfy that problem. But I think that with what has been done, 3 things have been done, right? The voters have passed a bond for affordable housing. I put in the budget, and I believe it will live an annual type of contribution towards housing, right? That we projected at just under $6 million. I don't know exactly what we're going to have there. And then the third thing is that our commitment in the APRA funds to address housing.
Ed?
Because the house was $400 million. Rhode Island Housing. They los babysitting the money, they don't roll it out. You're supposed to put the money out in the community.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I have met with the Rhode Island Housing and expressed my concern about the timing relative to the distribution of the dollars. I would expect that that's going to change significantly over the next couple of weeks.
Hi, Governor. On the rental assistance program, what is the problem? Are they not getting applications, or do they have a logjam in getting the money distributed because they're still qualifying people? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, and we'll be talking a lot more about that because of the time frame. There's 2 deadlines that are currently, one is September 30th, one's December 31st. I don't think people know about it, and I think we need to invest in some paid media so people can know what is happening and what is available to them. And the guidelines there are, I would consider, very liberal on rents that you could earn up to $74,000. I think it was $74,900 or something like that, I was told. For a family of 4 that could get rent assistance, up to $118,000 on the mortgage program that's going to come out June 30th. And also, those dollars can be used for assistance on utilities. Now, I think we've identified about $20 million that can go out to people who are having trouble with their utility payments, but those dollars are not going out yet. So, as the question was asked before, I would expect that that's going to turn around very quickly. And then there's a great deal of flexibility that I don't think the general public really understands. So they should be calling the Rhode Island Housing, they should be calling our office. And then I met with the community action programs this morning in total. They represent all 39 cities and towns with their programs. And they're very willing to step in they feel as though they could get as much as $10 million out through just their individuals that they represent. So this is going to be an all-in, one-team effort. It's a good amount of money. The people in the state of Rhode Island, we need to keep that money here, and I have all intentions to make sure that that happens.